Hey, Judith. All done with the doctor's visit?
Just stepping out now.
Is everything okay?
Guess what? I'm pregnant, Arthur. 3 months already.
No way! That's incredible, Judith! We're going to be parents! I'm over the moon, babe. This is surreal. I feel like bursting into song. I'm that elated.
It's quite the shock, isn't it? I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. It's like a dream.
It's beyond words. Do you think it's a boy or a girl? Or is it too soon to tell?
Way too soon, love. We'll probably get a hint next month, or the one after.
Patience is a virtue, huh? But do you have a hunch? Some mums have a gut feeling about these things.
No preference, honestly. Though knowing might make it easier to picture our little one's future.
True that. Oh, and we should tell my parents. They'd want to hear it in person, don't you think?
Can we hold off on announcing just a bit? Just until we're past the delicate stage. I'd hate to jinx anything.
Got it. We'll tell them when we can share the gender too. A double surprise, right?
Does that mean facing your parents?
I know they're not your cup of tea, but showing up together would mean a lot. They're traditional. They wanted us close to take over the family business and care for them.
It's a shame how things turned out.
Don't sweat it. It's not on you. They should have been kinder and more welcoming.
It's been tough, feeling like an outsider. They've never really accepted me.
I'm sorry they've made you feel that way. You deserve better. They shouldn't judge you for your upbringing or education. They're the odd ones out, not you.
Arthur, do you think it's worth considering university now? I've heard stories of people embracing academia later in life. Perhaps it might soften your parents' stance towards me, maybe even warm their hearts a bit?
Judith, my love, don't let their archaic views dictate your path. You're more than a degree to me, and to be frank, they only value diplomas from the ivory towers.
It's just, I feel so powerless. I tried extending an olive branch to the family business, but your father dismissed it outright.
Listen to me, Judith. Their words are just noise, empty and meaningless. Sure, it might raise eyebrows if you're absent from the family galas, especially with me poised to take the reins. But let's agree, minimal contact with them is best for your peace of mind, okay?
I understand, and I'm on board. But Arthur, at the last family gathering, they reduced me to Little Miss Helper. How can I stand by your side as future head of the company when they belittle me so?
I'm so sorry, Judith. I'll confront them about this, I promise. And about Thanksgiving, you and my brother seem to be in cahoots.
Oh, it was hardly a conspiracy. He needed assistance with the dinner, that's all.
Still, I'd rather you keep your distance from him.
Why? What's the concern?
Remember I mentioned his sudden return home?
Yes, what about it?
Well, he's entangled in some unsavory dealings, penniless and desperate. Our parents are sheltering him, but he's always been a bit of a black sheep. I fear any association might drag you into his mess.
Arthur, setting a table together won't make us fast friends. I hardly know him. Yet, it's nice to not be invisible to at least one family member.
Fair enough. Just be cautious, alright? I should get back to work now.
Good luck, darling. And prepare yourself. Tonight's dinner will be a feast fit for royalty. Anticipate a treat.
I'm counting the minutes. Take care on your way back, my dear. Remember, you're carrying precious cargo now.
Arthur, are you there? Will you be coming home tonight?
No, I'm so sorry, babe. Some stuff went down at the office and I got kept way later than I intended. Can you believe Graham from accounting forgot to log one of the biggest orders we've ever had? The entire team's running around the office like headless chickens trying to clean up the mess he made. It'd be comical if it wasn't such a freaking disaster. Anyway, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it home for a little while yet.
Wow, I see that does sound pretty chaotic. Have you found time to eat amongst the madness?
Yeah, I stopped over at my folks' place on my break for a bite to eat. Oh, damn, you didn't make supper too, did you?
Yes, you didn't message me, so I assumed to be home on time like normal. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. You can always heat it up in the morning.
I'm really sorry, babe. How are you feeling today?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. The morning sickness seems to have stopped now.
That's great news. But still, you're bound to have sudden bouts of sickness and nausea when you're pregnant. I want you to rest if you feel like you need to. Don't go overdoing it on housework or anything. Okay, babe?
Don't worry, I won't. Oh yeah, did your mom and dad say anything about the baby? They didn't seem even remotely interested when we announced the pregnancy to them yesterday.
No kidding. They were just as rude and blunt with you as ever. But my dad's been going around the office today telling all his employees he's going to be a grandpa. It looks like the bluntness was just a front and he's over the moon.
I see.
He's had the biggest, cheesiest grin on his face all day. I think he's even happier because it's going to be a boy.
Huh? Why?
Because that means he can inherit my dad's company one day.
Does that mean that's what you want for our son, too?
Yeah, obviously. I'd feel terrible if my family ever lost the company.
I see. Don't get me wrong, if our son grows up and decides he wants to inherit the company, one day I'll be 100% behind him. But equally, if he decided he wanted to do something else, maybe go into a different industry or do his own thing, following his own passions, I'd be there to support him in that too.
Judith, you should have known what you were getting yourself into when you married me. We have to produce a successor for the family business. You and I aren't the only ones in this relationship, and it's not our decision to make.
But I want to prioritize our son and what he wants over the aspirations of anyone else.
It's fine. You don't have to get it. I've always found the sight of you funny.
What's that supposed to mean?
Forget it. As long as I understand, that's all that matters, right?
Why do I feel like you're trying to imply something?
All you need to worry about is producing a healthy son for me, Judith. It's paramount that he grows up to be as robust and vigorous as humanly possible. So stop worrying about inconsequential gobbledygook and focus on looking after yourself. If you ever find yourself struggling to keep on top of the housework, I'm happy for us to hire a maid. I'm way too busy to help out around the house, so it might actually make sense.
Are things set to get busier for you now or something?
Yeah, but don't sweat it. Things should calm down in time for the birth.
I see.
Oh, hang on a sec. I have a message for you. My mom just suggested you go and stay with her and my dad, instead of resting up at your mom's place after the birth.
What? Your mom said that? Really?
I knew it. News of their first grandson has made them completely change their tune. They must be really pleased.
If they really are, that's amazing news.
Something tells me things between you guys are gonna change for the better real soon. I can feel it already. I bet they're both going to start being super nice to you. Onwards and upwards. So, what's it gonna be, babe? Go on. Move into my folks' place for a little while after our son's born, won't you? She's extended you an olive branch by offering to take you in like this. Your mom still works full-time, right? I doubt she'll be able to spare much time to look after you if you stay with her.
Well, it's true, she does. But I'd be lying if I said the idea didn't make me a little nervous. I can't just forget about how they've been with me this whole time. I think I'd feel awkward.
There's nothing to feel awkward about, babe. Don't sweat it. You're recovering. Our son will be the #1 priority.
Can I have some time to think about it a little?
Well, I guess you don't have to give me an answer straight away. But to be perfectly honest with you, babe, I'd have a lot more peace of mind if we moved in with them. You know how busy I get with work. I'd feel super reassured knowing they're around to look after you. We'll be able to see each other on my lunch breaks that way too. What with their house being so close to my workplace? Isn't that the ideal scenario in every way possible?
You really think so? Okay, sweetie, I'll think about it.
Alright, try to be positive and keep an open mind. If on the off chance you do move in with them and they start treating you like crap like before, I'll completely lose my shit with them. So if that's what you're worried about, there's no need. I have your back, Judith. If you decide it's not for you and you want out, you can leave whenever you like.
Got it, thank you. Arthur, that makes me feel a whole lot better. By the way, what time will you be home tonight?
It'll probably be after midnight the way things are going.
Right, it's pretty late already.
I think it might make more sense to stay at my folks' place tonight. The trains are always full of weirdos at this time. Besides, I'm up first thing tomorrow morning too.
I see.
I'm sorry, babe. I hate leaving you on your own like this.
You'll get more sleep that way, though. I think it's for the best. Good luck with work. Hopefully they let you go sooner rather than later. Don't overdo it, sweetie.
You're right. I'd be of no use to anyone if I collapsed from exhaustion. You too, babe. That little boy in your belly is our #1 priority right now. Don't hesitate to message me if you need anything.
Good evening. Is this Judith's number? It's Arthur's brother, Bruce.
Huh? Bruce? Where did you get my number?
I'm sorry to message you out of the blue like this. I found it by looking through Arthur's phone.
I see. So what do you want?
I'm just going to come straight out with it. If you can, you need to divorce my brother. If you can't, don't ever come anywhere near this house again.
Huh? Bruce, what the heck are you talking about? Divorce? Stay away from the house? Did I do something to upset you?
If you don't want your little boy to get stolen away from you, then I suggest you do what I say. Do not trust my family.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm so confused.
You have been warned. You're not to discuss what I'm telling you now with anyone. Obviously, that also includes my brother.
Just slow down a second. I have no idea what you're talking about. Seriously? You as well? Are you saying all this stuff because you don't approve of me marrying your brother either? I thought you were different from your parents. I can't go along with what you're saying, Bruce. Arthur is my husband. Surely you can't be serious. Could you at least explain why you're saying these things?
You're planning on moving in with us for your recovery after your son's birth, right?
Yes, Arthur works a lot. And I'd struggle a lot raising a little boy on my own. It was your mom's idea.
My family is planning on stealing your baby when you move in with them.
Steal my baby? That's crazy talk. Why on earth would they do something like that? Me and Arthur are his parents, so naturally we'll have legal custody. Even if they did steal him, we could just go to the police.
You're tragically mistaken. If they do get their grubby mitts on the boy, you may as well think of it as being the last time you see him.
Bruce, please. What you're saying is absolutely insane. What exactly am I supposed to say to this? What, should I just blindly believe you? I need to discuss this with Arthur.
No, you mustn't mention a word of this to my brother. He's fully on board with my parents' twisted plan.
No way, he'd never agree to that. Arthur was over the moon when I announced the pregnancy. I've never seen him so happy. He loves me.
Do you really believe that? It's time to wake up and smell the coffee, Judith. He's been coming home late ever since you announced you were pregnant, hasn't he?
That's because he's busy with work.
Not to lie, his company has a no overtime policy.
Huh? Then where has he been? He said he had overtime today too.
It's time you learned the truth about my brother, about who he really is, and about what he and my family are planning together. You should prepare yourself, Judith. This is going to come as a shock. Are you ready to know the truth?
I'm ready.
Very well. I have plenty of proof, so I'm going to start from the beginning. I doubt he'll be going home to you today, so time won't be an issue. Alright, let's start with this photo.
Judith, I'm confused as to where you are. The house felt so empty without your presence, and your mother, she was extremely worried. Why did you disappear into thin air without a word? It's as if you were swallowed by the earth. I'm walking here filled with anxiety. The thought of you out there alone is unbearable.
Do you really care about me?
Oh, Judith, when I saw your name appear on the screen, I felt so relieved. Please, I beg you, tell me your whereabouts. I will drop everything immediately, get in the car, and come to you. Just say the word.
No, I will not tell you where I am now. Spare yourself the effort of asking. It's useless. You, of all people, should be acutely aware of the reasons behind my departure.
What? I'm completely confused here. Your sudden silence sent me into a spiral of anxiety. It won't be long before you bring our son into this world. What made you act so recklessly?
Are you even aware of when I left our home?
Surely it was just today.
Incorrect. I left a full week ago.
But we've been conversing normally up until yesterday.
I only pretended to be happy to keep you from suspecting anything. You say you're worried about me, but you hardly ever come to see me.
That's not my fault. What do you want me to do? I've been buried in work, overwhelmed by endless deadlines at the office.
You're lying to me. You've been spending your time at your lover's place, haven't you? The only reason we got married was to make sure I gave you a son, an heir to your family's fortune. You've been planning to get rid of me and take our child as soon as he was born.
What are you talking about? I don't understand, babe. This is crazy. You must know I would never betray you like that. What made you lose trust in me, Judith?
If you want a divorce, then fine, because I want one too. I have plenty of proof of your secret visits to your lover's house when you said you were working late. And don't forget the audio recordings of you and your family plotting to take my child away from me. He will never be yours.
How did you... Wait a second. Have you been working with my brother? Now that I think about it, he moved out of our parents' house recently. Damn him! He's been filling your head with lies, hasn't he?
The only thing your brother has done is show me the truth. For that, I'm forever grateful. He's the only decent person in your family of scoundrels.
Judith, stop saying such things. I'm your husband. No. You can't believe him. He's the evil one, not me. Trust me, listening to his lies would be the worst mistake you could make.
Tell me, Arthur, how can I trust you? The evidence of your cheating is undeniable. Besides, your lover can't have children. Your parents, they rejected her as a suitable wife because she couldn't give them an heir. They said they would only agree if you found someone else to be the mother of the next owner of your family's business. Wasn't that the reason for our marriage?
No, that's not true.
Why keep lying to me? Arthur, I've warned you. I have proof. Your words mean nothing to me.
Judith, I beg you. Come back home, please.
That's impossible now.
Judith, is it money you're after? Because if it's financial security you desire, I'm more than capable of providing that. Just tell me what it will take. I'll do anything, just please let me have the boy.
Cut the crap, Arthur. You think I'm some kind of heartless broker, ready to trade my flesh and blood for a few shiny coins? I'm not selling my child. He's going to grow up with me, far away from the likes of you and your manipulative family. I'll ensure he never even hears your name.
I'm begging you, Judith. You must understand that I was concerned, trapped by my own parents' archaic demands. They gave me an ultimatum, produce an heir or lose the love of my life. It was never about wanting to hurt you or our son.
And what was your brilliant plan, huh? You didn't think of any other way to solve your problem? You didn't consider adopting a child? No, you decided to create this elaborate lie, a plot so wicked that even a spider would be ashamed.
I needed a child of my own flesh and blood. That was the demand of my parents. They are obsessed with these old-fashioned customs that they can't let go.
It's unbelievable, really. The level of stupidity you've reached is almost admirable. Do you honestly think that your fear of being childless gives you the right to do such a terrible thing?
Judith, I had no choice. The company my father founded, it's not just a business. It's our heritage. And that heritage must stay in the hands of our family, no matter what.
But that doesn't mean you can use me to treat me like a tool in your twisted scheme. Don't I mean anything to you at all? And our son, is he just a pawn in your dirty dealings?
I'm begging you, Judith. If you deny me the boy, my parents will force me to marry a woman I can't stand. She's awful, Judith. Her looks, her personality, it's all so disgusting that I'm afraid I'd be doomed to a life of unhappiness. They're also threatening to cut off all contact with my true love.
I don't care about your personal hell. Why should I feel sorry for you? This situation seems like a fair punishment for someone who would sink so low as to trick another into a loveless marriage for the sake of offspring.
I'm desperate, Judith. Without the boy, my life is over. Think for just a moment about the life your mother could have. She sacrificed everything to raise you, and now, with one word from me, she could retire in luxury, enjoying comfort for the rest of her days.
The very idea of you makes me sick. It's a miracle I can even talk. This hatred, it's not just dislike or irritation. It's a deep-rooted disgust that makes my skin crawl. Did you really think I would give up my son just because you flashed some money at me?
But Judith, the value of wealth.
Yes, money matters, but not at the expense of my integrity. I'll have more than enough once you've compensated me for this charade. And let's not forget my own savings. I'm fully equipped to provide for my son and to repay my mother's sacrifices without dipping into your tainted fortune. It's high time you stopped viewing us as destitute damsels in distress.
I'm begging you, Judith. My life, my very existence is hanging by a thread. If you turn your back on me now, it's all over. I swear to you, our son will want for nothing. He will be cherished, adored, and raised in a world filled with love and abundance.
How could you possibly be capable of looking after our son properly when you're nothing but a spineless yes man who kowtows to your parents' demands, no matter how absurd they are? I'm not going to let you sacrifice our son on the altar of your bizarre obsession with appeasing your deranged parents' every whim. I get that they're foisting all sorts of ridiculous demands on you, but that has absolutely nothing to do with me or my son. He will not be the successor to your dad's company, no matter what. I'm going to give my child a bright future where he can make his own decisions. So, I ended things with my husband and got a pretty good settlement out of it. Turns out, Arthur's parents made him marry a client's daughter because he couldn't secure a future for their company. His dad even went to his girlfriend's place, the one he really loved, and spilled the beans. She was so upset, she dumped him right then and there. Later on, I was shocked to see in the news that Arthur's dad's company got hit with a huge fine for tax fraud and went under. Arthur had to move in with his new in-laws and now works for their family business. I'm glad I left him when I did, but it seems he's stuck for good now. His parents are broke and living off his wife's family, which means they have to stay on their good side. I've heard his new wife isn't too fond of him, but wants kids and likes having him around for the business, so now he's pretty much just there to run errands and start a family. It's quite the twist of fate. Honestly, I don't feel sorry for him at all. I hope he regrets how he treated me and tried to take my son. He's lost the woman he loved and is stuck in a loveless marriage. That's just the start of what he deserves. Meanwhile, I've had a beautiful baby boy. With my savings and the court settlement from Arthur's affair, I'm doing okay financially. I'm taking some time off work to be with my son. Arthur's brother Bruce even sent a big gift for the baby's birth. I was so surprised by the amount. I tried to give it back, but he insisted. So, I'm saving it for my son's future. Bruce always seemed a bit rough around the edges, but he's turned out to be the only good one in that family. He's actually a CEO, which blew me away. I think his short return home was to expose his family's misdeeds, not because he was struggling. That's just my guess, though. I'm really grateful to him. Now my main goal is to be the best mom for my son and create a loving home for him to grow up in. No one will ever take him from me.